prepare to have your perception of cinema forever altered. Because what happened to legendary director Takashi Miike in a dark Osaka theater will make you question everything you thought you knew about the power of film. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't just terrorize American audiences when it burst onto screens over 5 decades ago. It fundamentally rewired how an entire generation viewed the very concept of what movies could accomplish. But here's where it gets fascinating. This masterpiece of terror has only grown more influential and revered as the years have passed, cementing its position as arguably one of the most game-changing horror films in cinematic history. This enduring legacy has sparked the creation of yet another documentary exploration called Chain Reactions, and among its most compelling interviews is a revelation from none other than Takashi Miike, the visionary behind disturbing masterpieces like Audition and Ichi the Killer. Miike's recollection of his first encounter with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reads like something straight out of a perfectly crafted horror story itself. Picture this. A young filmmaker walks into what he believes will be a charming evening with Charlie Chaplin's heartwarming classic, City Lights, only to stumble into what would become a life-altering cinematic experience. I entered that theater completely by accident. Carrying the pleasant expectations of someone about to enjoy Chaplin's gentle comedy, Miike recalls with vivid detail. The venue was Shochikuza in Osaka, an aging theater with imposing pillars that created the absolutely perfect atmosphere for horror, though I had no idea what awaited me. But here's where it gets controversial. Miike's description of his transformation during that screening challenges everything we typically assume about horror movie experiences. Rather than being repulsed or terrified in the traditional sense, he found himself developing genuine emotional connections with the characters. Until that pivotal moment, cinema had always felt like a completely safe space to me, he explains. For the very first time, I understood that movies possessed the potential to be genuinely dangerous, to challenge and disturb in ways I never imagined possible. As the story unfolded, something unexpected happened. I began forming deep attachments to these characters. By the film's conclusion, I was actively cheering them on and even laughing with genuine joy. Nothing in my previous movie-watching experience had prepared me for such a complex emotional journey. And this is the part most people miss. The cultural impact extended far beyond individual viewers. Miike reveals that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre single-handedly shaped an entire nation's perception of American geography. In Japan during that era, this single film convinced everyone that Texas was a genuinely perilous place to visit. The movie painted such a vivid picture of desolation and danger that it became our primary reference point for understanding that entire state. The Chain Reactions documentary doesn't stop with Miike's fascinating perspective. The filmmakers assembled an impressive roster of horror luminaries to dissect the movie's lasting influence, including the master of literary terror, Stephen King, comedy horror enthusiast Patton Oswalt, respected critic Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, and director Karen Kusama, whose credits span from Jennifer's Body to The Invitation. Each brings their unique analytical lens to understanding why this particular film continues to resonate so powerfully across cultures and decades. Now here's something that might spark heated debate among franchise devotees. While the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has spawned numerous sequels and reboots of varying quality over the years, industry insiders suggest its future may be heading toward A24. the studio known for elevated horror like Hereditary and Midsummer. This potential partnership could either breathe sophisticated new life into the franchise or completely alienate longtime fans who prefer their chainsaw-wielding terror served with raw, unpolished brutality. So here's my challenge to you. Do you believe that accidentally stumbling into a horror masterpiece can genuinely transform someone's entire relationship with cinema? And more provocatively, should classic horror franchises embrace the elevated horror treatment? Or does that sanitize what made them terrifying in the first place? The comments section awaits your passionate arguments, and I have a feeling this topic is going to reveal some deeply divided opinions among horror aficionados. What's your take? Are you team preserve the raw terror or team sophisticated evolution? Let's see those battle lines drawn in the discussion below.